What's up? RedRaven here. Since I'm going to be doing this new video series, Ask the Raven, I thought I'd go ahead and run you guys over my studio and tell you guys what equipment I use and let you guys see this so that these questions are already answered. So let's get to it. So first off, I run a Toshiba satellite laptop. I don't remember the model number. I've had it for quite a while. About, let's see, 5 years about, going on 6. It has a, I don't know if you guys can read that. Yeah, I don't think you can. It's got a Intel T1350 processor, single core at 1.86 gigahertz and 0.99 GB of RAM, an 80 gigabyte hard drive, but with Windows installed it's about 70. So it's not the best machine, but as you can hear in my songs, it gets the job done pretty well. Alright, for my audio interface, I run a Lexicon Omega. Pretty solid interface. However, if I had done more research on them before I purchased it, I would have went with the product from Focusrite, because the preamps in Focusrite products are much better. And for one of my preamps, I'm just using a Philips Micro Theater MCD 700, and I'm sure it gives me some color in my monitors, which are these. And they're not actually very good monitors because they're not meant for near-field monitors, they're just listening speakers. But they are Pioneer, you can't read that, they're Pioneer S-HF41-LR is the model number on those. They get the job done. They're not the greatest for mixing on, but you know, use what you got, right? So that's my audio interface and my listening speakers. Now you'll notice I have a Crown XLS 1500 power amplifier, and that runs back into that corner to my subwoofers, which I don't use to monitor on. Those are just for listening purposes, you know, so that I can have nice loud music and piss off the neighbors. And that's really all I use that for. So now my headphones are quite old. They're Sennheiser, I believe HD 201s. I'm a big fan of Sennheiser products. They get the job done, and even though those headphones have been in use quite a while, they're not the worst, but they're certainly not the best. Now for my mixer, I use a Behringer Xenix 1202 FX mixer, and you can see I've got a lot of these 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch adapters so that I can plug my iPod into it and record from that or whatever it may be. Now, I do not recommend this mixer to anyone. It's cheap, and that's about it. It doesn't even have a power switch, so the only way you can turn it on and off is by unplugging the power cord, which is right here. And I don't know if you can see in there, but my ground plug snapped off from plugging it in and out so much, since there's not a power button on it, and that's why you get a little bit of feedback in my microphones. And I know it's probably not the best to be running my microphones off of a mixer that's not grounded, but you know, I don't have the money to buy a new one, so I gotta use what I got, right? So for the mixer, or for the microphones I mean, sorry, I have a MXL CR-24 large diaphragm mic, and the CR-24 kit comes with 2 microphones. So if we go over here and open this case that they come up in, you'll see that there's also a, well, you can't really tell with the light, but there's also a small instrument microphone in there, and it comes with shock mounts and a windscreen, if you can see that, and a cleaning cloth, which is always nice, handling gloves because these are finished in black chrome, and leather carrying cases for both of the microphones. And that's one of the reasons I really like MXL. They don't skimp out on you. They send you all the accessories that you need for your microphones. And another microphone I have is the MXL 2008. If I open that case up, You see, it also comes with a shock mount and cleaning cloth, and both of these kits come with extra bungees for the shock mounts, which is nice. Okay, so you see over here I have a drum set because, as I've mentioned before, I'm a drummer. So this is a Tama Stage Star entry-level drum set. I don't even believe they make them anymore. The kick drum on it is only an 18-inch kick drum. Now, I don't know if you guys know much about drums, but the average size is 20 to 24-inch kick drums. So that's not got a lot of bass to it, but I used to live in a mobile home and I didn't have a lot of room in my bedroom, so that's why we went with it. My cymbals are Sabian. My hi-hats are Sabian AAX Accelerator 14-inch. My ride cymbal is a AA 20-inch Rock Ride, also Sabian. And my crash cymbal is, again, Sabian, and it's a 17-inch Volt. I really like Sabian cymbals. Again, I don't know how much you guys know about drums, but I'm sure you guys have heard of the cymbal brand Zildjian. Well, Sabian split from Zildjian, and they're nice. They're good quality. They're cheaper than Zildjian. They sound amazing. If you guys have listened to my dubstep, you've actually heard those cymbals in a lot of my songs because I recorded samples of them, and that's what I use for my hi-hats and rides and crashes in my songs. So my snare drum is the one that came with the drum set. The drum head on it right now is a Remo Weather King coated Emperor. I normally use Aquarian heads for my snare drum batter, which is the head that you hit. I also have Remo Weather King Emperor heads on my toms. You can see they're pretty banged up, but they still sound alright. Now, if you've listened to my song Unidentified, the toms that you hear in the intro are one-shots that I sampled from my drum set. I'm a big fan of recording your own samples. I think that it's a great way to go, because then nobody else really has those sounds and they sound more authentic than sample packs that you can download. So you can see I've also got like a little tambourine here that I can put on my hi-hat stand. Just a box full of drumsticks and shit. You can see I use Tama Iron Cobra double bass pedals. Over here I've got a CB bell kit that I had to have when I was in band class back in middle school, in high school. There's my Akai MPD 24. Now you'll notice there's some masking tape right here. That's because a friend of mine spilled pop on it and those two faders no longer work, so that's just a reminder for me not to mess with them because they will mess up my program. So I think I forgot to cover this. This is an Oxygen 49 USB MIDI keyboard, and you'll see more masking tape on it, but that's not to signify that it's broken. This is actually for Fruity Loops live playlist mode. So I can trigger playlist patterns from my keyboard live, and they will continue to loop until I hit the key again, and I just numbered the first 10 keys so that I know which pattern that key triggers. I've also got some other percussion things. You know, I've got some maracas from the Cayman Islands. I've got a little bongo here that I got when I went on a trip to Florida. I think that was from, yeah, actually it says it right there, Clearwater Beach, Florida. So, yeah, I sample a lot of my own drum and percussion sounds. Just like I said, I like to do that, and I think it sounds better. So I think that pretty much covers everything. If you guys have any more questions that you'd like to know about the studio or my equipment, hit me up. Software-wise on the computer, I run FL Studio 10 legally. I don't know if you can see the icon there. Yeah, you can't really see it. Now, I won't lie. Back when, I used to use a lot of pirated software. But I'm a fan of the try before you buy, but like as you can tell, I've obviously purchased it now. So that's the thing. If you're gonna pirate software, don't pirate it for good. Just pirate it to see if you like it, and if you do like it, purchase the software because if nobody bought it, then the developers wouldn't have money to keep developing new products. And yeah, that's basically it. Got my Mountain Dew, my water bottle, cigarettes, everything I need to make music. Alright, so that's my little tour of my studio. This is RedRaven. Peace and out. Again, a few things I forgot to mention in that video. Software wise, I use a lot of Rob Papin products, as you guys know. Now, a few people have asked me how I got those products. I do own them legally. I was contacted by a person from dancemusicblog.com, and they asked me if I'd like to do some software reviews for them if they sent me the software. And they sent me some software, and I did some reviews for them, and then they asked me if I had heard about Rob Papin products, and I said yes I had, and I'd love them, and I'd like to do some reviews on them. So the blog purchased the products and sent me the serial numbers, and I tried to unlock the products, and it didn't work, and I contacted Rob Papin's support, and they said, well, the person that purchased it actually already used those codes, but we'll go ahead and send you some more codes since you guys are going to do reviews for us. Now, so they sent me new codes, and they still wouldn't work. And the problem was I was using DSL internet, and it wasn't very reliable because I live in the country. And yeah, so, well, I don't live in the country, but I live in a small town in the country. So, yeah, so I contacted them again and said, hey, you know what, like, those codes are not working, my internet's not real reliable. And what they did is they went ahead and mailed me the USB key to unlock them. So if I go ahead and show you guys that, here is the USB key that unlocks all of the Rob Papin products I own. So this is proof that I own them legally. These are legal software products that I own and use. As I mentioned before, I did use a lot of pirated software in the past, but I don't use anything pirated now, which is why I no longer have Albino 3. I got rid of anything pirated from my studio, and I went ahead and purchased my FL Studio legally. I purchased anything that I was using studio-wise legally because, like I said, if you're going to pirate it to see if you like it, and if you like it, purchase it. I mean, I know a lot of software have the trial versions, but a lot of times they're limited, and then they do that little gap of silence in there, and if you're trying to make a sound, that's really fucking annoying. And yeah, so that's basically everything else I wanted to cover. So for the second time, this is RedRaven, peace and out.